one guy who braves the storm every week.
Every week.
From theoldcoach.com.
The Woj of Texas high school football.
The Woj of Texas high school football. It's the great Matt Stepp. Hey, Matt.
What's up, fella?
How you doing?
I'm just living the dream.
I know you're stuck. So here's the amazing thing about, because you call him the Woj of Texas high school football.
He is the Woj of Texas
and he
high school
certainly
football.
is. Here's the amazing part. He also has a straight gig.
Yeah.
Like, he also has, like, a day job, which is, how in the world do you balance that?
Yes, please tell us.
Well, if my boss is listening, I might not have a day job anymore. So let's leave it at that.
So this weekend we had a lot of, I think, showdowns across the state that kind of separated the great from the elite. The ones that come to mind for me: Cibolo Steele's win over Converse Judson, Lake Travis's win over Westlake. Do either of those strike you as a surprise? Either of those results?
I think Lake Travis being as dominant as they did kind of caught me off, because I thought that was going to be a really close game, and Lake Travis pretty much had their way with Westlake. I thought the margin and the way that Lake Travis got that done caught me a little off guard.
Lake Travis certainly looked good against Westlake, especially defensively. We talk so much about the DFW area and how they've brought home, they've swept the 6A and 5A state titles the past 2 years. The big talk now is that with the title games going to Houston and with an improved depth in the Houston area, they've got a chance to bring home a couple titles. From your perspective, do you see the DFW dominance breaking this year?
I think it'll be tested at least. I think we'll still have a couple of DFW champions, is my guess, but I don't think we'll see a sweep this year. I do think Houston, maybe San Antonio, cracks that armor a little bit and steals a couple of games. Not to say steal's probably a bad word, but sure. I think this is a year that you could see it. And it's not just because the games are in Houston. I think across the board, the depth in the DFW area isn't where it would be. And I think even if the games were at AT&T, you might see a team from Houston or San Antonio sneak in there and get a title.
Is there one or two teams that you look at that you would say they're the favorite outside of the DFW area that you would say have to be considered a favorite to bring home a title?
I would say definitely in 6A, I would go with Steele personally. I saw Steele in person against DeSoto, and I really like their diversity on offense. They're really, really dynamic this year. They've played a tough schedule, and they don't fear Katy. They really went toe-to-toe with Katy last year at NRG, and if you want to look really far ahead to the state semifinals, a potential Katy-Steele matchup would be in San Antonio this year. And so I might give a slight edge to Steele in that game just because of all those factors. If you look in 5A, I think Temple has looked really, really strong. I think they would probably be one of the favorites in Division I. And I think Cedar Park, obviously in Division II, along with Crosby, really have potential to make a noise. I think if you're looking for a real sleeper out of the Houston area, might be Stratford. Mm-hmm. Their defense has been lights out this year. They've got some big-time talent, not only on offense with Rakeem Boyd, but the linebacker Brooks committed to Texas Tech, and the defensive tackle Miller, who's a Northwestern commit. I mean, Stratford's been really, really strong this year, and if you're really wanting to find kind of that sleeper that no one's talking about, I think they might fit that bill.
They got a big game this week against Magnolia West. We're talking to Matt Stepp of theoldcoach.com here on DCTF Live. Getting involved in the conversation, hashtag DCTF Live. Matt, kind of dipping down to the small school ranks. Everybody loves to be that high school football hipster and get on board a team's bandwagon early. Is there a small school bandwagon that you're riding pretty hard that you are that you maybe want to let our listeners in on?
I don't know if they have a chance to win state because Bremon's been so dominant in 2A Division II and Region 4, but I really like Bruni. Mm-hmm. They brought back every single player from last year. I think they had carried 17 kids on varsity. All 17 returned from a team that went to the quarterfinals last year. He's got a really good head coach, and Kyle Freeman's done a great job in his second year there. I believe they had a kid move in. Freeman made one of those real genius hires where he hires an assistant coach who's got a stud all-state kid from New Mexico added a little bit of depth to that pod as well. So I think Bruni's probably my real deep sleeper. I just don't see anyone in 2A Division II knocking off Bremond, and in Region 4 especially. And so they're kind of stuck in that region with Bremond. But if you're looking for another one, I don't know how big of a sleeper they are, but Pottsboro's been incredibly dominant in 3A Division One. I think their closest game has been like 35 points. I mean, they're just destroying everyone they come against, and no one's talking about them because you got Camarillo, you got Brock, you got Mineola at the top of 3A Division One. But keep an eye on Pottsboro.
We're talking with Matt Stepp of theoldcoach.com here on DCTF Live. And Matt, before we let you go, you travel all over the state. And how many high school games are you up to so far this season?
I'm up to 30. It'll be 31 tonight when I make the trek over to Corsicana to watch Cujo and Corsicana and a little Monday night football action. So it'll be 31 after today.
Do you sleep? Ever?
It's rare. It's a rarity. I will admit that it's a rarity, but it's fun. I mean, gosh, getting paid to watch football.
Yeah, you probably. Yeah, we are so we really struggle. All of us in the Texas.
The struggle is real. It's so real
for the media mafia. It's a real struggle to get paid to watch football. But I do want to ask you, because one of the big topics of conversation among the media mafia, if you will, is press box food, and you've been all over the state. You gotta give us one place. If you could have your last meal at one press box, where is it?
Oh wow!
I know, I'm putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, you really are. I'm gonna go off the beaten path a little bit, and I don't think many people outside of El Paso have been to this press box, but El Paso Del Valle. Coach Jesse Perales out there, he told me when I was covering one of the games there last year that they were gonna blow me away with their press box spread, and their home ec, or I don't even know if home ec is the actual correct term anymore. Their culinary arts department throws down. And then they also cater food in. So we not only had like Rudy's Barbecue and they had Cheesecake Factory was in there. Then they made like homemade fajitas. We had appetizers, and they brought in like appetizers, and the students, they wait on you like almost like I felt like I had to tip when I left there because the students were waiting on you. And we had homemade desserts. I mean, the guy from the El Paso Times was like, I can only cover like 1 or 2 games here because I'll gain 20 pounds. I mean, it was pretty ridiculous. I mean, like I said, when you get there, then this is the appetizer. You're in for a good night when they're talking about appetizers like pregame.
They're pregaming it. Hold on, I want to see who Del Valle is playing this week and see if we can get out to El Paso.
See if we can just hop on a little plane.
Yeah, just
skip over there. Get on
he is Matt Stepp of theoldcoach.com. See his fine work at theoldcoach.com and follow him on Twitter. A must follow on Twitter.
Yes.
At Matt _ Stepp with 2 P's 817. Matt, appreciate you, bud.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the show. You're doing a great job.
Oh, thanks,
man.
We are trying.